Good morning and a heartfelt welcome to the Sunday morning 7 a.m. club. I'm so genuinely glad that you've chosen to be here again this week with me to invest this time in yourself. I'm Fay Chapple, and it's a privilege to guide you through today's session. Today, we're going to explore a theme that touches almost every single one of us. It's the comparison trap. It's finding freedom and contentment in your own unique journey. It's that sneaky habit of looking at others and feeling, well, less than most of the time. So, over the next couple minutes, hour, 30 minutes, 45, depending on how long you do every exercise, we're going to clearly understand why we fall into the comparison trap. It's a very human thing, but we can manage it. We want to recognize your personal comparison triggers and how they really impact your social feeling, your self esteem, your joy. And then I want you to learn some practical, powerful strategies to cultivate deep self acceptance and celebrate those unique strengths. We're going to do our usual guided journaling, manifestation, breathwork, meditation. And I want you to make sure that you're comfortable, seated in a great position, and go ahead and grab a piece of paper, pencil, or your journal. Make yourself comfortable. Grab your water. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Sunday Morning Club, the place where we battle burnout and brew up bold ideas, preferably over a steamy cup of coffee. I'm Fay Chapple, and I'm your ringleader for these re-energizing Sundays. If you're ready to crack the code on resetting your mindset, rebooting your goals, and laughing a little along the way, well, you're in the right place. So let's dive in.
Let's be honest for a moment, okay? Have you ever scrolled through social media and you've seen someone else's perfect life, right? The amazing vacation, the new job, the flawless family photo, and felt a little pang of jealousy, right? A twinge of envy, maybe even a dip in your own good mood, right? After you see it. I'm sure you've been there. I know I did. It's actually why I quit Facebook because I got a little upset about seeing everyone taking these fabulous vacations and I knew I couldn't. So, if you're like me and you're nodding, yeah, I've done it, then this is the class for you. This is the comparison trap in action. And it's this almost magnetic pull to measure our lives, our achievements, our looks, even our happiness against others. And here's the kicker: we usually compare our behind the scenes everyday reality with someone else's carefully curated highlight reel, right? It's like comparing your very messy kitchen to a five-star restaurant that has a glossy menu photos, right? It's not really a fair fight, right? But we do it. And the habit of comparison isn't just a fleeting thought, right? It can deeply impact our self esteem. It can rob us of our joy, distract us from the beauty and the potential uniqueness of our own journey. And it can make us feel like we're constantly falling short or that we need to be someone else, right? To be happy or successful, right? We're waiting. When I accomplish this, I'll be happy. When I get this done, I'll feel joy. And we just never get to that point. But what if we could learn to recognize this trap for what it is? What if we could develop the tools to sidestep it more often, to silence that inner voice that says you're not enough compared to them, right? Imagine the freedom, the contentment, the sheer energy that would be unlocked if we truly focused on and celebrated our own path with all its unique twists, turns, triumphs. And today we're going to try to do just that. So let's start first by acknowledging the world we live in. Okay, let's do a quick reflection. I invite you to close your eyes, and the reason I always ask you to close your eyes is so that you can focus on what I'm asking you without any distractions. So either do that or soften your gaze, whatever works for you. Think about the last time you scrolled through social media or you saw an ad. What images or stories stood out to you? What feelings did they evoke, right? Did any of these feelings involve a sense of comparison, a feeling of, I wish I had that, or why isn't my life like that? Just think about it. Notice, no judgment. I just want you to think about it. Now let's do a little bit of an internal weather report for ourselves. I want you to check in with yourself. When that comparison thought arises, what happens to your body? Do you have a tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach? Do you feel restless? You're not sure what to do with your thoughts? Do they start spiraling? I just want you to observe, nothing else. I just want you to observe how you feel when you think about it, okay? And if you feel comfortable, you can share a word in our chat or describe it to anyone that you happen to see today. But I want you to jot down a few words in your journal or on your paper, right? And I want you to make sure that you thank yourself first for sharing that, for acknowledging, right? And I want you to really understand what it is that you feel when you look at these. So, recognizing these things that come up is the first step to actually disarming their power. We're creating a space of honesty here. So we want to make sure we are honest with ourselves. So if you feel uncomfortable when you look at someone else's posts, someone else's ads, you feel inadequate, I want you to acknowledge that that's how you feel. I still do to this day. Sometimes I'll be scrolling and I'll be like, oh, I can't believe they're doing that. I should be doing that. And I always acknowledge that, you know what? My journey's great, my journey's unique, but those feelings still come up. So, why do we get snared in this psychology of comparison, right? It's not a personal failing to compare ourselves to others, right? Our brains are somewhat wired for it, right? So, let's understand why this trap really works. So, there's an evolutionary root to it. So, our ancient ancestors, they were trying to fit in with the tribe, and knowing where they stood socially was crucial for survival, right? So they compared oneself to others, and that helped gauge their status, their resources, their belongings. And there's that primitive part of our brain that's still scanning, right? And comparison, right? Comparing what everyone else was doing in that tribe. And now there's social learning and upward, downward comparison too, right? So we learn by observing others. So psychologists talk about social comparison theory. Don't want to get too heavy here, but sometimes we make upward comparisons to people that we perceive as better off, right? Which can sometimes inspire us, but often it can make us feel inadequate, right? Other times we make downward comparisons to those we see as worse off. So we might offer a temporary ego boost when we think of that, but it's not sustainable and it really isn't a sense of self worth. So up or down happens. Then there's this magnifying glass of social media, right? This is the big one today. Social media platforms are literally designed to showcase curated highlights, right? And we see these filtered photos, the success stories, the perfect moments, rarely the struggles, the messy realities, or the efforts that we do behind the scenes. And this creates a real skewed perception of others' lives, right? Making our own seem little less exciting or accomplished, right? When people always come up to me and they go, oh, well, you must be doing all this great stuff. And I always go, take everything with a grain of salt. What you see is what I want you to see, right? So when you are posting, it's usually great things. Now, a lot of people are on TikTok and they cry and do, but again, we're at the point where do we believe them or not? It's a little challenging now to really understand what's real and not. There's also this self esteem seesaw. So, when our self esteem is a bit shaky, which we all get, right? And we get overly reliant on external validation, right? What others think, right? What others have, then we're more vulnerable to the comparison trap, right? If we don't have a strong internal sense of our own worth, we look outside for validation and comparison, right? That's where we want somebody else to say, oh, you're fine. Oh, you're doing great, right? But it's not going to do what we need it to do, because that's just really looking for outside. So we never feel internally that we're there. And then going right into basically the arrival fallacy, I guess we can call it, because sometimes we compare because we believe someone else has arrived at the place of perfect happiness or success, a destination that we're still striving for. But life is a journey, not a destination for everyone. So that arrival fallacy is one to keep in mind. Remember, when we perceive that someone else has arrived at that perfect place, right? We perceive them as having arrived, but they might not have, and it might not be what you think. So be very, very careful. Understanding all of these things helps us see that comparison is not a reflection of inadequacy, but as a common human tendency, right? And it's amplified by our crazy modern life, right? But the good news is we can develop new, healthier mental habits. We absolutely can. And I want you to think about that because we have all been in that comparison mode and we all have the opportunity to change. So I love this quote from Brene Brown, who's a very famous writer and speaker. I'm sure you've heard of her. She works mainly on vulnerability and worthiness, but this quote is one of my favorites. It's comparison is the thief of joy, right? Think about that. Comparison is the thief of joy because we might be really doing well and happy in what we're doing and we're all excited that we actually made something, we made it, made something happen. And then when we compare it to something else and it doesn't quite add up, we think, then that joy is gone and we don't want to do that. So think about that quote as we go through all of this today. So let's think about journaling a little. Take out your journals again, and I want you to write. And this is a private space. You don't have to share. If you're part of our community, feel free. If you want to share with others, I'd love for you to, but feel free to also keep it to yourself. So, number one is I want you to think about the last few times that you actually felt that pang of comparison. Okay. Who or what triggered it? Was it a person? Was it a type of post on social media, a situation at work or in your social life? Think about it. Just think about the last few times. And how did it make you feel? Specifically, what thoughts went through your mind? And I want you to be honest with yourself. So take a few minutes if you're watching the replay again, stop the play, do your little work and then come back. Take as much time as you want, but I want to make sure that you write these down so that you are acknowledging that they happen. And when does it happen most? For a lot of us, it happens now on social media because social media, as I said, is very perfect, right? Everything looks like so much fun, but it's not really reality. So make sure you understand that. Now, after you've written those down, I want you to shift your focus entirely inward to you. And I want you to list 5 or 7 things that you genuinely like about yourself, right? These can be character traits. So maybe you're kind, maybe you're resilient, maybe you have great humor. They can be skills. Maybe you're a good listener, you're creative, you're organized. It could be some passions you have or unique experiences you've had. And I don't want you to be modest. This is for your eyes only, okay? So for each one, remember we want 5 to 7. So for each one, I want you to write a brief sentence about why that quality is valuable, right? Or how it has served you or others. Because we want to reinforce our brain to remember everything that we know we are unique and it's a great skill set or it's a great attribute that we have. Okay. After you do that, I want to really define your version of joyful, contented life, right? So forget what others are doing or having. If you were living a life that truly felt joyful, contented, and aligned with your deepest values, what would that look like and feel like? What small everyday things would be part of it? And then what's one tiny step that you can take this week towards that vision, right? Independent of anyone else's journey. This is not based on anything that you aspire to, want to, you see somebody, you love them, you want to do the same. This is only about you. What is your version of a joyful, contented life, right? By doing this exercise, you should have an aha moment of some sorts. You should have identified a strength that you may have often overlooked, right? And feel free again to share it, or just I want you to remember that this is what you're good at, right? And I want you to focus on these joys. I want you to focus on this resilience that you might have. It's really important that when you do this exercise, you do it completely. Don't skip. Remember, go ahead, stop this play, and make sure that you do the exercises. That's when it works. It's not going to work just listening to me. It isn't. You need to actually focus on yourself. So let's do a little bit of an affirmation or a manifestation. This one's real simple. All you're going to say to yourself is, I am enough. My journey is my own. Right? That's it. That's all you're going to say. So you want this beautiful work to anchor these insights. So if you have that small mirror, if you have a little mirror, you can hold it up, right? If you have a little mirror in front of you, or think about a mirror and simply close your eyes and visualize yourself looking at yourself with kindness. And I want you to take a gentle breath in and a slow breath out. And then I want you to repeat these affirmations silently or softly, right? Right after me. I'm going to say one and then you say it to yourself. I want you to feel the truth of them that resonate within you. So, I am on my own unique and valuable journey. My worth is not measured by comparison to others. I celebrate my strengths and embrace my imperfections. I choose contentment and gratitude for what is mine. My pace is the right pace for me. I release the need to compare and instead I choose to appreciate. And I am enough exactly as I am. So I want you to take 3 more deep, nourishing breaths. I want you to let those truths really settle into your heart, into your being. I want you to feel that sense of self acceptance and peace that expands within you. And then I want you to gently open your eyes when you're ready. And you can repeat these affirmations at any time. You should already feel much more empowered because you're allowing yourself to remain on your own journey. So we're going to do a little bit of box breathing, right? And this one's called stay in your lane, basically. So we've done box breathing, and when our minds get caught in the comparison spin cycle, a simple breath technique can bring us back to our center, right? Into our own lane. So we're going to practice box breathing, right? We've done it before. It's wonderfully grounding. It's easy to remember. That's why I'm doing it today. So as you inhale through your nose, you're going to count to 4. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth or your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold the breath gently at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one full box or cycle, right? It creates a sense of balance and of calm. So let's try it again. Sitting comfortably, spine tall but relaxed. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. After your last hold, you can return to your natural breath. You can do this breathing exercise as much as you want. What I want you to notice is the calm and the centeredness that it gives you. This is your anchor. So when the winds of comparison try to blow you off course, use it anytime you need to feel like you need to come back to yourself. Box breathing is so easy to do, so simple to remember. That's the one that I like to go to whenever things get a little messy, and comparison is a little messy. Okay, so let's try a little bit of a meditation. We're going to do our walking your own beautiful path meditation. So I want you to sit comfortably again, and I want you to allow your eyes to close. Go ahead, and I want you to bring your awareness to your breath just for a few minutes. I want you to feel the gentle rise and the gentle fall. Now imagine yourself standing at the beginning of a path. This is your path, your unique life journey. It might be winding, it might be straight, but it does have gentle hills or scenic overlooks wherever you can see. It's unlike any other path in the world. And as you begin to walk along your path, you notice the ground beneath your feet. I want you to feel its support. I want you to notice the unique landscape around you. Maybe it's the trees, the flowers, the quality of the light. These are elements of your life. And you might see other paths in the distance, right? And you see people walking their own journeys, and you acknowledge them and you wish them well, but your focus remains on your own feet, on your own path, and on the beauty and the experience that is uniquely yours. There is no rush to catch up to anyone or slow down for fear of leaving others behind. You are walking at the perfect pace. And with every step, you feel a growing sense of appreciation for this path. You notice small details you might have missed if you were busy looking elsewhere. Maybe it's a delicate flower, maybe it's an interesting stone, right? The way the sunlight filters through the leaves. These are all unique joys and lessons of your journey. So if any feelings of comparison or doubt arise, simply acknowledge them as clouds passing in the sky and gently bring your attention back to your own path, back to your own breath, to the sensation of your feet on the ground. I want you to feel a sense of deep contentment and peace as you walk, right? Know that this path is exactly where you are meant to be. It's unfolding perfectly for you. Perfectly. Every step is a discovery. Every moment is precious. I want you to take a few more moments to simply walk your path in this state of peaceful acceptance. And gently begin to bring your awareness back to your body, to the room that you're in. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, take a deep, refreshing breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to slowly and gently open your eyes, bringing that sense of peace and contentment with you. Great job. So we've honored our minds. Now let's honor um, not only our physical selves, we can do that as well with some gentle movement, right? So our bodies are our companions in that journey, and they deserve our appreciation, right? Just as they are. So remember, modify what you need. We're always doing seated. I encourage everyone after you do this class to go ahead and take a walk, do some more gentle stretching, take a class, whatever it is that you need. But we're just going to get our body moving just a little bit in this Sunday morning to start feeling that calm really um, go reach each and every part of us. So I want you to do a neck and shoulder release, which we've done lots of times. So gently drop your chin to your chest. I want you to feel the stretch in the back of your neck, and I want you to hold it for 3 breaths. And slowly roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. And I want you to hold it for 3 breaths. And we're going to go back to center. We're going to move our left ear to our left shoulder. We're going to hold for 3 breaths. And back to center. And I want you to gently roll your shoulders backwards 5 times. 1, really stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I want you to go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should already feel a little looser. Your mind went loose, and now your body slowly loosening as well. We're going to do spinal twists and side bends. You guys love these. So I want you to inhale and sit tall. And as you exhale, I want you to gently twist to your right, placing your left hand on your right knee, right? We know this. We're going to hold it for 3 breaths. 1, now I want you to go back to center. I'm going to inhale. And as you exhale, twist to the left for 3 breaths. And then slowly go to center. Inhaling again. I'm going to take your left arm up, and as you exhale, I want you to lean gently to the right for 3 breaths. And over to center, and I want you to take your right hand and do the same thing over to the left. Really stretch out. Make sure you feel it. And after 3 breaths, I want you to come into center again. Let's do a little self hug and heart opener. I want you to reach your arms out really wide, okay? Then I want you to take your right arm over your left and give yourself a hug. Tuck your chin in a little, and I want you to breathe. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get my mic. I want you to breathe into your back body, and I want you to hold that breath for 3 times, right? 1, 2, and 3. I want you to inhale, open your arms wide again, gently arching your chest, opening your heart. Imagine really shining your unique light. I want you to really reach and then exhale. Now I want you to do the same thing, but your left arm is over your right. So reaching over, giving yourself a hug. You have a mic on, watch that. And that's, remember, it's just 3 breaths. And then we're going to wide open again. Make sure your heart is shining forward. Inhaling, opening your heart, and then exhaling and release. Okay. I want you to take your fingertips and I want you to gently tap your forehead, your temples, your cheekbones, your jaw. Light, gentle taps. I want you to tap down your arms from your shoulders to your fingertips. Gentle taps. Tap on your chest, around your heart, down to your tummy, right? And just silently thank your body for all it's doing. You should start feeling a lot of tingling. So you're opening up your body. Anytime you feel like you need energy, it's the same thing we do when we shake. It's the same kind of concept, but this time you're tapping. So we do a lot of shaking. I know you guys love that. Today is the tap. Okay. So just tap whenever you want. Your whole body, your legs, your belly, your feet, whatever you feel like. Okay. And let's do a little bit of a grounding stillness after that. So I want you to place your hands comfortably in your lap, palms up or down, whatever you prefer. Close your eyes. Feel your feet and your seat on the ground or in the chair. I want you to feel grounded and present in your own being. So take 3 deep breaths and appreciate that moment of connection with yourself. Go ahead and take those 3 breaths, inhaling slowly and exhaling. Inhaling 2 and exhaling, and inhaling 3 and exhaling. So, just as we're mindful about the food we eat to nourish our bodies, we can also be mindful about what we consume with our minds and our hearts, right? Especially when it comes to the media. So, this is your nutrition tip, but it's actually a wellness tip this time around. So, if you find that certain media accounts, shows, or news outlets consistently trigger feelings of comparison or inadequacy, I want you to consider a mindful media diet. Okay, so curate your feed. Unfollow or mute accounts that regularly make you feel bad about yourself. It's that simple. Actively seek out and follow accounts that inspire you, that uplift you, that educate you in positive ways. Do not allow that algorithm to go into your feed. So unfollow or mute and make sure that you start really focusing on accounts that inspire you. Set your time limits. Be conscious of how much time you actually spend scrolling, right? You can use your phone settings or your apps to set limits that really help, because we all know that it goes by so fast. We might be in bed in the morning, we haven't got up, and we might be thinking, I'm just going to scroll for 10 minutes before I get up, and then you look at the clock and an hour has gone by. So we have to make sure that we are looking and enjoying what is really going to feed us. We want to nourish from within. So instead of comparing your plate to someone else's, right, we want to focus on truly nourishing your body with whole, delicious foods that make you feel good. And this week, perhaps one new recipe that feels good is like a kind act to yourself, right? Maybe a vibrant salad or a comforting soup or a healthy homemade treat might actually make you feel good about yourself, right? So if you eat mindfully and you savor your food, it's an act of self care that really grounds you in your own experience, right? So I want you to focus on consuming content and food that leaves you feeling energized, inspired, and really feeling good about your life, not depleted, not envious, right? We've covered a lot of ground today in understanding really the beginning of how to dismantle that comparison trap, right? You explored your triggers, you celebrated some of your strengths, right? And you connected with that, the beauty of really slowing down with your own breath and your own path. Remember, this is a practice, it's a journey of coming back to yourself again and again, right? And that is what I want to challenge you with today. I want to challenge you for the week ahead to, number one, I want you to practice an affirmation. We had a lot of them. You can choose one from many of the ones we talked about. I am enough. My journey is my own. That's an easy one. If you read it to yourself daily and repeat it with feeling, it will start to anchor. And when I talk about anchor, we can also anchor our breath. So when you catch yourself in that comparison spiral, then I want you to use that box breathing, 4-4-4-4, right? Just for a minute or two. It's not a long time. You can do a minute or two. So whenever you catch yourself, I want you to do that. 3 is I want you to celebrate one unique quality. Okay, we wrote some down. So actively acknowledge and appreciate one of your unique strengths or your qualities in action this week. Give yourself credit, right? Instead of looking for external validation, give yourself credit, right? And give yourself one of those mindful media moments. Intentionally curate your social media feed for 10 minutes this week, right? Choose to consume one piece of uplifting content instead of something that might trigger comparisons. It's tricky. We all do this, but now because you've learned this, you will acknowledge that and be able to stop yourself, right? You'll be able to say, hey, I feel bad because all I'm doing is comparing. I can stop that now. Then I want you to share your progress, right? Not for comparison. I want you to share your progress because it's one small step that you took in your journey. So you want to share it in our group, you want to share it with your friend, you want to share it with a partner, whatever it is. You want to share it online, use a hashtag like my unique journey, right? This is about support. It's not about comparison, right? And that's what we really want to think about. There's so many things we want to cover in the next few weeks. One of the subjects that I really like is really trying to find that quiet power of self-compassion, right? It's that antidote for your inner criticism, right? It's like It might be the perfect follow up for today, actually. So maybe we'll do that next week. So stay tuned. But for now, thank you for your presence, your honesty, and your willingness to grow. I'm Fay Chapel. So join me next week. But for now, go out and walk your beautiful, unique path with joy and confidence and feel the abundance around you.
And that's a wrap for today's Sunday Morning Club session. Feeling inspired? Well, good. Keep riding that wave all week long. And don't forget to join me live every Sunday at 7 a.m. for real-time conversations. So if you miss a session, no worries. Grab the replays, sign up for our next big thing, and get all the juicy details at sunnymornings.club. So thanks for tuning in. Go out there and spark some magic in your life and in your business.